song is over. I was like dancing back there, but it's over now. So we are live. Welcome in. The song is over.
Hold on.
Hold on. We've got an echo.
There we go. Got it.
Okay,
Echo
cool.
I forgot to mute my other computer.
All good. So I am here with Larry at Carnivore Soldier, and I'm so excited to talk to you tonight, Larry, and hear your story from start to finish and ask you all the juicy questions. So,
all right. Well, glad to be here. As I say when I'm on my channel, all right. Carnivore Soldier coming at you from Austin, Texas.
That's right. I'm going to ask you now, and I hope you're going to do it. Will you end us with Carnivore Soldier out when we're done?
Yeah. That's my standard comms. That's Army comms. When you 100%. Say out,
okay,
it's over. That's it. Your conversation's done.
Yeah, that one makes me smile every time you say it. It's amazing. So what I would like for you to do is just share your health journey with us. Tell us how you got started on carnivore, and just, like, how did you get from there to here?
Sure. So, I mean, I'll go back to the beginning. I was pretty athletic my whole life. Being a soldier, before I started, I was in the Navy first, but even in high school, I wrestled, I ran track, went in the Navy, played rugby for a military team called SCUM, Solano County Unified Military Rugby Team. So I played on that. And then I went to play at Michigan State and played rugby there. So I was pretty athletic, and then went in the Army, continued weightlifting, and I was in good shape. I knew what my body did, how it responded to exercise and diet, right? And diet wasn't important at all until I hit my 40s. Then it started getting kind of important because I was an Army guy, and I'd have to get ready to go to schools. And the schools, you had to do PT tests, and part of your grade was your physical training and how well you performed, right? Against your classmates. So I always wanted to graduate with some kind of recognition, special graduation, like Commandant's List, which I usually got, which is the top grades and top PT kind of stuff, right? So I always tried to get something where I was recognized for being above and beyond my peers. So I would do Atkins at first, and then I went to keto and to get ready for these schools, because I knew that it would trim me down. I performed better athletically, and I did. My body actually responded well until I hit 50 years old. And I know, Christy, you're very young, so you're way off from this. But for me, when I hit it, it was like a brick wall. Like, my body stopped responding to the exercise. I was still and the diet, because I would even just go low carb, and it just didn't seem to do the same thing. And the exercise, but of course, I was doing keto-ish. I mean, I just like cut back on my carbs, and I was, still eating the keto pizza and the keto, the things they're cauliflower crust, that garbage, right? All that garbage. I was still eating all that. And so I retired at 53. So my last 3 or 4 years, I could barely maintain standard. I couldn't even maintain standard in my last year of PT and everything. I couldn't run anymore because my injuries piled up, and my body just finally gave out. And then, so my last year, I put on extra weight. And, when I went in the Army, I was about 245. When I came out, and I was in my mid 30s when I went back in when the planes hit the building and then we went to war. I thought, you know what, I still got gas in the tank. I'm going back in the military. So I went back in. So I was about 235. When I got out, I was about 255. And I just attributed that to being older. I'm like, well, I'm in my 50s. I'm not going to be lean and mean or anything like I used to be. And then, COVID hit right after that, because that was 2019. 2020, COVID hit. And from 2020 to 2023, I put on the weight, got up to 280. I was just ballooned out, which you had a picture on the thumbnail, I believe. It showed I was really ballooned out, totally swollen, and every bit of my life sucked. It really did. I mean, I was divorced, single, overweight, no motivation, sitting on the couch, no hope, depressed, all these things piled up. And I was, as a veteran, I was drinking, I was self-isolating, which a lot of veterans do, because you go from being this warrior class that can do just about anything to being this guy who can't tie his shoes without running out of breath, sit literally on the couch. That's the way it was. And I felt like much less of a man because of that, because I couldn't do anything. I mean, I just felt like, and then looking forward, all I saw was a decline. I didn't see any hope for anything but a decline the rest of my life. And my mom died at 67 of Alzheimer's. And I thought, well, I'm probably going to get something like that too. And I really didn't want to be a burden for my son. He's 14. I didn't want to be like having Alzheimer's while he's becoming a man and everything. This is all nightmare city stuff for me.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, every time I went in for colonoscopy or something, I thought, well, I'm probably going to get cancer now. I used to worry about all this stuff all the time. And had I kept going that direction, those things probably would have happened, right? Along with diabetes and some other things. But March 2023, I'm looking for a part for my Jeep because I bought a new Jeep, and I'm modding it. We modify our Jeeps as Jeep guys. So I'm modifying.
Of course you do.
And then I see Dante Fregno and his crazy video, 127 Days Lion or whatever. I'm like, whatever. So I watched it because I saw the picture of before and after, and I'm like, wow, this is kind of convincing because it was just not professionally done. It was just this guy, and he did it, and he's blue collar. He's not some kind of like, he wasn't selling anything. And I'm like, okay, well, still pretty crazy. But then I realized it was an old video, so I thought, well, let's see what he's doing now. And I looked at him, and he just completely was different. Mannerisms, the way he moved, the way he talked, cadence, everything was different. His attitude, he was a different person. And I was like, man, I want that. So then, but I still wasn't sold. So I went and Googled carnivore diet, and then there comes Dr. Barry. And I knew him from doing keto. I knew Dr. Barry and a couple other guys that I used to watch. Dr. Berg, he was a keto guy. So I used to watch those. So I thought, well, this guy's an MD and he's legit. And if he's gone carnivore, then this must be legit. It must be real. So at that point, I said, that's it. I am going to burn my ships like Cortez did when he came to the New World. And I'm just going to make it work, or it's going to fail, but it's not going to be because I didn't do maximum effort. So I just emptied everything out, took it all to the food pantry, threw away my seed oils and any stuff that was already half opened, donated everything else, and just went and bought meat and water and butter and salt. And I'm like, that's it. Eggs, beef, bacon, BBB and E. And I did that. And in the first 20 days, I lost like 26 pounds. It was ridiculous and felt amazing. I probably felt a lot better than I looked. I still looked pretty terrible, but I felt like I already felt like I was 10 years younger in the first 26 days. I did. I mean, I just felt like, oh my gosh, I just had this confidence. A level of confidence that came back. As a man, that used to be an athlete, I started feeling, and then by the time 6 months came in, I was down from 280 to 234, which is dangerously close to my college weight. Now I'm at 232, right?
Okay.
And, I was 228 in college to 229. So I'm right there. I'm wearing a 36 loose right now. I have one pair of jeans because I keep buying. I made a mistake of buying two jeans twice. And it's like, okay, that's not going to happen again because they fall off after a couple of weeks. I'm like, all right. So I think I'm going to get down to about a 34 waist. I'm 6'3". I'm 6'3". So 228 to 230 is great for 6'3" for being athletic because I'm still athletic. And the other thing is I'm running sprints. I'm in the gym again. I started in the gym in December and I feel like an athlete again. So carnivores like completely reversed my physical issues, but also like GERD went away. I sleep better, no allergies. I don't sweat when I work out, which is crazy. I barely sweat at all. I used to sweat like a pig when I worked out. I would sweat so bad. I wasn't able to run since 2017 because of my injuries. I'm running sprints now, as you know, because you're doing that.
Yeah.
And Dr. O'Mara convinced me of that one. So I'm out there running sprints. I ran sprints today. So yeah. And then mentally, depression, anxiety, pretty much all gone. PTSD, pretty much all, it's all much, much better than it was. I mean, some things are never going to go away, but they're totally manageable now and totally improved. Nothing has gotten worse. Nothing. Oh, my budget. I mean, I save so much money eating this way. And also this is a minimalist lifestyle. My kitchen is streamlined now. Like my pantry actually holds equipment in it instead of food because there's nothing to put in a pantry if you're a carnivore, really. I mean, not much. It's almost all in the fridge. So my fridge is pretty empty because it's also nutrient dense. You don't need much in there. It's just a fridge and a freezer and like a pantry with a bunch of air fryers and dehydrators. And I have all this crazy stuff. Ice cream machine.
Slicer? Do you have a slicer?
I don't have a slicer yet.
Some people
Not
get
yet.
slicers.
But I have 3 air fryers.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, so I can air fry a lot of steaks when people come over. That's why I did that.
Okay, so you talked about earlier on in your journey that you started with Atkins. You're not the first person that I've heard say that. And I'm wondering if you did say when you were keto, you knew like Dr. Berg and Dr. Berry from doing keto, but when you were Atkins, did you know like all the research behind that? Or was it just like, if I lower my carbs, I'm going to get lean? And because that's kind of all I knew about it. Like if I cut out the carbs, but I didn't really know any of the like health information behind that at the time.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't read his book. I read about his book. So I did read about him, about Dr. Atkins, because I wanted to check it out before I did it. And I saw some people were saying, oh, he died of a heart attack. Yeah, after he freaking slipped on the ice and hit his head. I mean, come on, it's a blunt trauma injury that killed him. And it wasn't a heart attack, you know. I mean, but anyway, so I wanted to vet that stuff before I went, you know, before I went all Atkins on everybody. But it just worked too. I thought, well, I'm going to try this out. You know, it seems like it works. And there was no YouTube back then. This is before all that stuff.
Right.
So, but it just worked, right? I mean, it did. The thing is, Atkins and keto work for a time. But for my issue, my problem with them, which I always fell off every time. And every time I got on them and got healthy, I said, oh, this time I'm staying on. I always did. Like, I'm going to stay on this time. I'm going to stay healthy. I feel great, which I did. I felt better. Every time I fell off. And the reason is because you're counting carbohydrates. So you're managing an addiction and you're leaving the addiction there. You're not addressing it. You're just managing it. And if you're going to try to manage that addiction, as soon as life comes up and bites you in the butt, you're going to slip back into old patterns. And that's exactly what happened every time. Whether it was a Christmas party or a birthday thing or a bad day, and I just felt like I'm just going to eat a pizza or something, whatever, you just come off. And you never go back until you're ready to get, you know, go to another school or something for me. So this is the only thing, because this actually treats the addiction, right? This diet eliminates all carbs. So you're not, for one thing, you're not downloading an app and counting and blowing into a tube and all this garbage. I'm not calculating things out and trying to figure out, ooh, what can I do? Not figuring out what net carbs and regular carbs are, all that garbage gone. And this one, it just simplifies it. I'm just eating whenever I'm hungry, eating fatty meats and eating until satiated. And actually, I can trust my body to tell me now when I should stop eating, which I couldn't do before either. So.
Yes. So that's funny because you're echoing my thoughts. Like your thoughts are my thoughts. What is that? Jedi mind trick. Did you just Jedi mind trick me, Larry? No. So
I was born on May 4th. So may the 4th be with you. I mean,
that's right. May the 4th be with you. I think it was just funny because you say it like straight up. That's one of the things I really enjoy about your channel. I love watching your live streams that you do, the Hump Day Meetups on Wednesday. Whenever I can catch those, I do, because you don't mince words. You just say it. And I do appreciate that delivery. But it was the same for me. So when I was on, keto or Atkins, when I was doing that, or when I was doing Atkins, I'll say, I didn't like do any research. I didn't even read about the book. It was like, okay, lower the carbs. And then like somebody told me, I don't know who, about net carbs. And then I was doing that game. And you're right. It's 100%. I never really thought of it exactly like you're managing an addiction, like what you just said. But that's 100% true.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Like,
so
instead of drinking alcohol, I'm just going to drink like one shot a night instead of a bottle. Right. And then sooner or later, you're going to slip up though, if you do that. Right.
So it's like, you can have these carbs. Oh, I've only had, 15 carbs today. Sweet. I got 5 more. Like, where am I going to get those, kind of a thing? And that's not the right mindset to have if you're doing keto, but I for sure had that mindset sometimes, you know? So 100%. And now that I'm carnivore, it's like, I don't have those cravings anymore. I've got my son. Those of you that follow me know he started a ketogenic diet 2 weeks ago to see if it would help with his ADHD. And I don't have him 100% carnivore. He doesn't need to be as strict as I do. I'd say most of the time he's more ketovore, and it's not with veggies. It's like he'll do a little, like he makes like the carnivore pizza pockets that JT made, but I'll put a little scoop of tomato sauce in there for him. Marinara sauce. Anyways, that's not the point. The point is, over the weekend, I made him like some keto cookies that were made with like the protein powder. And that was just too much, it was just too much keto for me. And I didn't taste them, but I was sitting there making these chocolate cookies with like the protein powder and stuff. And there was like some sugar-free chocolate chips in there. I had no desire to eat one. I made them. It was like not even, oh, don't eat one of these. Like that's totally where I would have been. I would have been like, don't eat it, don't eat it, don't eat it, And it was like I was making these for him. They were his cookies. It made like 8 cookies. He's the kind of person, at least right now in his life, he could do 1 cookie a day and be fine. So like those 8 cookies will for sure last 8 days. But yeah, it was crazy to me. I'm looking at this food, whatever, is like this dessert, and I didn't want it. It was just the craziest thing because that stuff used to call to me from the cabinets.
Yep.
And I'm not, where you're telling me, I'm like kind of jealous of your setup because like my food is up against all the other people's food, and I'm like, ew, like I want my own freezer for my meat. Is that bad? Get the pizzas away from my meat, you guys.
Yeah, I mean, being
my
single,
husband doesn't eat like I do.
Being single, I mean, it's kind of like a two-edged sword. It's like, I don't have to have anyone in my life that's not eating carnivore, but then again, it's really hard to find someone to date that eats carnivore, right? So it's just and I tell you, being married to someone who doesn't eat carnivore is one thing. Dating is completely different because you don't have to be there, right? You don't have to deal with it. And it's like, so it's easy to make the decision on either side, just like this is not going to work out. So I don't even really try to date people that aren't carnivore. I don't think it's going to work out. So
it's fortunately for me, once I went carnivore, like I said, the cravings aren't there. So like my husband's food, like his ice cream and just all that stuff is just sitting in there, but it can just sit there. Like it doesn't.
Yeah, I know.
The siren song is gone, people. Like it's fine.
I have a diet Dr. Pepper's been in my fridge since March 1st because I bought it when I was grocery shopping then, and I haven't drank it, and it's just been sitting there in case a guest came over.
Yeah.
So, and I used to love that stuff. Diet Coke and Diet Dr. Pepper were my jam, especially at movie theaters. I mean,
I have pretty much cut that most of the way out. I'm not going to say that I never do it, but I was that person drinking 5 or 6 a day. Like I might have 1 a week. I'm working on it. I'm almost weaned. Almost.
Yeah. I can't do that because if I do, I'll get a sugar Jones. Okay. And like because it does give you an insulin spike. And then I would get a sugar Jones, and then by 6 o'clock that night, I'd be cruising looking for something sweet in the kitchen. I mean, I just know myself.
Yeah.
So I mean, knowing yourself's part of this deal.
Yeah, for me, I don't get that, but I for sure know that the aspartame and all that is bad for me. So I'm worried. It's almost gone. Almost gone. Okay, so we have like a lot of cool people in here. So I just want to go through some of these like hellos and things. I don't think she's here, but shout out to Carnivore Leo because she became a member of my channel. So
nice.
Rhonda, if you're watching the replay, she's working right now, but yes, thank you. Martin is here saying 2 of my favorites. Aw, thank you, Martin.
Thanks, Martin. Appreciate you, man.
Maribel, hello, Christy. And Tracy saying hi, friends.
Hey, Tracy.
And Cyber Goose, yeah, I love the cat picture. And hi, y'all, love that. And Charlie is here. Good evening.
Darth Carnivore, see? There's another Sith Lord.
Jedi. Yes, I love it. My friend Jay is here, a fellow teacher. Hello, Jay.
Oh, did you get it? Did you reach out to Carnivore Teacher yet? He got his channel.
I did. I've got an interview. I've got an interview scheduled with Carnivore Teacher. I forget exactly when, but yes.
He'll be on Wednesday night with me, Hump Night, coming up. So if you want to jump on, he'll be on in a couple nights.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
I'll be there. Meetup again. He was on my last one.
I'm not sure if I have anything going on, but
okay.
I'll try to be there. Mike says, happy Monday. It could happen. I mean, Mike, my teaching day is over. I've got next week off because Larry, can you believe they give us a whole week for President's Week? They call it President's Week now.
Yeah,
it's not just like a couple of President's Week.
I know. I work for a university, so we don't get all those days off. We get good holiday off during Christmas though.
Yeah, okay, that's nice.
So
I mean, I got 4 days more and then I got a week off. So okay, Mike, happy Monday, I'll take it. DC, all right. Hey, Christy and Larry, yes.
All right, DC.
Renee is here saying hi to everyone. Susan is also here. Hey, Susan, nice to see you. Dustin, Keto Simple is here. Hi, Dustin.
Nice.
And I think we have a couple of questions. I was excited about this question, but I'm going to let you take it first. So, is there a technique to sprinting, or is it just running super fast? Maribel would like to know.
It depends on your age, but there is. And you do run super fast, but if you're older like me, you don't start sprinting at the speed you did when you're a teenager or even a young man. So I start slower and work my way faster, but I do go to a full sprint. And you just don't want to injure yourself, because sprinting injuries can be long term. They can be really bad. If you pull a quad or tear a quad or a hamstring, it can be really painful, and then you wouldn't be able to sprint anymore. So in fact, I pulled my hamstring a little bit and I felt it, and you have to listen to your body. But the technique is you just run the balls of your feet as fast as you can for a random time. And that's why I have a random timer that Christy uses that goes between 0 and 60 seconds. So I set it to go between 11 and 35 seconds right now. So it's going to generate, every time I hit start, it generates a timer, starts running. I don't know if it's 11 seconds or 15 or 30, I don't know, or 35, but I'm just going to sprint until that alarm goes off. And I'm listening to music when I do it. So that's the way I do it. And I also have a generator that generates a random number between 2 and 7. And that's how many sprints I do. So I do both those things.
I have a question. Do you know about, because I do the random timer generator, and I'll talk about mine in a minute, but I don't usually vary the number of sprints I do unless if I sprint on a rest day, like if I didn't lift weights that day, I'll usually do 10 sprints. But on the days when I lift, I do 8.
Okay. Well, I mean, you're doing more sprints than I'm doing, but like, see that little the blue one, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that's mine. That's the one I have. Yes.
Yep. And then there's a
clock.
Called
Random timer generator, and I just got it free from the Google Play Store.
This one is the 1, 2, 3. It generates a number.
Okay.
So this is and then there's a random timer generator next to it. There's an alarm clock, right? So you have the alarm clock, which is the random timer generator, and you have the other one, the 1, 2, 3 with the arrows on it. That just generates the number of sprints I'm going to do. So I might only do 3 sprints one day, but if I do, I'm going to go really hard, because I'll know that. I'll do that. I'll random generate how many I'm going to do. You can get a dice and throw it if you want. I mean, you get a 6-sided die or 2 of them and throw them and see how many you're going to do.
Yeah.
But I'm just doing, it's random, and it's part of my workout, because I am in the gym now. I started going to the gym in end of December. I joined a gym, started lifting again, because I don't like to wait till New Year's to do a resolution. So I just started. I'm like, why would I wait 2 more weeks? I'm just going to go now. I'm ready to lift.
Awesome.
So now I'm lifting and sprinting, which is great. I sprint twice a week, and I'm lifting 4 times a week now.
Ooh, okay. So I'm lifting 4 times a week. I mean, in my house. Like, I don't go to the gym. I have a set of dumbbells, and it's kind of cool. So with my deadlifts, I'm almost out of weight. Like, I'm going to have to figure out a way to get some more weight, because my dumbbells, like, once I put one more, they're like the kind, it's like one set of handles, and you can add more weight to that one set of handles. Yeah. I got one more 3-pound plate to add, and then I'm out of weight. I'm going to have to get some more weight for my
get a rubber band system. That's what I use for. And the rubber band systems are really cool. And I have links on my website for them. There's one called X3 that's really expensive, but there's one that's half price on Amazon. It's really good. And it's basically, you stand on a platform with a bar, and you put the bands on it. You do deadlifts or squats or anything off that.
Okay.
And the good thing about it is as you lift, the stress goes up, right? So it's not like regular weights. You don't you limit your stress in your joints. When you're at the low level, it's very low weight. When you get to the top, when your joints are the strongest, you're at the heaviest weight. So you get the maximum gains with that. Dr. Josh, what's his name? Jaquash. Dr. Jaquash. He's going to be speaking at KetoCon.
Okay.
He's the inventor of X3, and I have an X3 system, but you can use either one. Rubber bands are really superior, especially for old guys like me who have tore up joints.
Yeah. So for my sprints, I use the random timer generator too. Now, you got me beat on your upper limit. So I just upped my lower limit to 14. I was at 13. Now I upped it to 14 today, but I max out at, I think, 24, I think is my max.
Oh, push it to 30.
I know. I'm getting so fast. I'm gonna put that in air quotes. I'm getting so fast now that if I did get one for 24, I'm gonna run out of street before I run out of time, which I'm like, oh, I couldn't do that before.
Yeah,
which is kind of cool. I'm gonna have to like go on the other street and do it. So yes, I'm gonna push it to
Notice a
30s.
difference in your body composition?
So what happened was I sprinted every day in the month of September. And when I did it every day like that, I noticed a big difference. Then I pulled my quadricep and I was out for like 3 weeks. It wasn't a major pull. And you are right. Listen to your body. You feel any twinge or anything, you stop. Stop. So it wasn't like a major pull, but yeah, it took me out for like 3 weeks. And then it was like I was kind of nervous to do it. And I kept kind of trying and I was still kind of sore. Anyways, I just got back into it. So I'm hoping that between the lifting that I just started, like what am I in week 5 of lifting? And then I sprint 6 days a week now. So I'm hoping that I will notice. So I will tell you that my weight has gone up, but like I don't feel like I feel strong. Like I feel like my weight has gone up, but I feel like I'm strong when I walk. I feel my muscles differently. Does that make sense?
That's called feeling athletic. I mean,
there it is.
Yeah, you feel athletic. I mean, your
yeah.
legs are probably firmer.
Yeah.
Your butt's firmer. All the things get firmer because it's all muscle.
And that's what it feels like. When I walk, I'm like, I feel muscles that are there that I didn't feel before.
Yeah.
My upper body, because I'm pear-shaped, has always been a little, smaller, but I feel like I have like a presence in my upper body now that wasn't there before.
Nice.
So I love it. And I just, when I don't want to do it, I just remember what Coach Bronson told me. He said a couple things. One of the things was just embrace the suck. And I was like, all right, okay, Coach Bronson, I'll embrace the suck. But the other thing he talked about, which really hit strong with me, was like positive and negative stress. So like stuff's going to be stressful, and working out is a stress, but it's like a positive stress. It's a stress with positive benefit. If you choose to not work out, now you've given yourself a negative stress because you're going to feel bad later because you didn't do it. And then and then your body is not getting the benefits from that workout. So yeah, when I don't feel like doing it, I just remember that thing about the stress. And then I remember just embrace the suck. And then I just suck it up and do it.
I've got an old video called Embrace the Suck.
That's awesome. I got to go watch that.
I was doing a walk and talk, and I was talking about how we embrace the suck, and how we drive through things.
Yeah, absolutely. So Maribel, as far as my technique, I'm with Larry on that. So I'm 48. So I'm almost to that magical age of 50 that you talked about earlier. I'm 48 and I do the same. So I don't take off at my top speed. I kind of ease into my top speed. I use that random timer generator as well. And I just sprint as hard as I can till I hear the little bell. And then I stop and
I'll be
catch
58.
my wind.
I'll be 58 in May. So I'm 10 years ahead.
Awesome. So we're like a decade apart.
Yeah.
Cyber Goose says 3 air fryers. Seriously, honey, we need more fryers.
And I'm single, so
yeah, there you go. I only have one, and it's like I just got it. I got it as a gift for Christmas.
Oh, and I love my air fryers.
Love that thing. Like a ribeye from frozen air fryer. Like Robin Heron, the carnivorous grandma, taught me how to do that. Like it's actually good.
I know. I got that.
Why is it good? Recipe. I don't know.
I have that recipe on my website too, my YouTube channel. I have a frozen ribeye, it's my favorite, and I still make them that way.
Yeah.
My son and I.
So I did one with her, just like we did a live, like cook and eat with Robin and Christy, right? And she taught me how to do it. And like the next day I did another one because it was so good. I'm like, who needs the cast iron? I mean, I still enjoy my cast iron.
So easy to clean up too, though, right? The cleanup is like all contained.
Yes.
So I've got a cast iron I put out on my grill so I can keep the grease out there if I'm doing that, if I'm going to sear one. But I have a smoker out there too, so I can smoke my ribeye, get it to about 105 degrees, pull it out and throw it in tallow and sear it on the grill next to it. And that's pretty amazing. But it's a lot of work.
Good. That's a lot of work. And I don't have that set up outside. So yeah, I get that. And then I got to clean my stove. And then half the time it sets off my smoke alarm too. Yeah,
it's awful to air fry. I mean, to sear in the house for me anyway. Yeah. It's like, it's really messy.
So Susan says, speaking of ribeye, that she's ready for a ribeye. I've been eating chuck roast and hamburger, eggs and bacon, saving money.
Good for you,
and Susan. Good for you. And she's waiting for a good sale on ribeyes. Yeah, I wait for those too, Susan. And when I see it, I stock up. I think I have 2 ribeyes left from the last time it was on sale. And then on Sunday, you guys, I picked up a box of meat, grass-fed, grass-finished beef from my local rancher.
That's cool.
Because I wanted to taste it because I'm getting a half a cow from them in like May. So I wanted to see what I was in for.
What kind of cow?
I don't know what kind of cow, but it is grass-fed, grass-finished. I'm not sure the breed of cow. I was going to interview them. I was going to interview her when I was there, but when I got there, they were so busy that I didn't end up leaving with the interview. But that's a good question. If I can get her to like commit, I will ask her what kind of cow.
You should ask her, because there's very different quality of meat on different cows.
Interesting. Okay.
Like Longhorn, which is very popular here in Texas, I don't like because it's very lean and tough.
Lean. I don't think we have those. So I went on the ranch and they were not Longhorns, because Longhorns, I'm assuming, have long horns.
They do.
I didn't see that. So I don't think they're that. But I saw them grazing out there as I was driving, because you have to go like a mile back on this dirt road to get to where they sell their meat from. But anyway, so I'm unthawing actually a chuck roast that I got. So I got like a box, like it's like a beef lover's box. And so there was chuck roast in there. So I'm unthawing that. We'll see how it is. So Darth Carnivore Charlie has a question. How does the I Eat Carnivore Reveal go on your dates?
So here's what I've been doing. Here's what I've been doing, because rather than waste time on a date, I just, when I meet them on like a social media app or something, or even if I meet them in person, I'll say, hey, check out my YouTube channels and my podcast. And I point them to that. And that way, before we waste time, they can look at that. And if they're still interested, fine. Because I mean, I've gone on dates and said that, like, I only eat meat and talk about my YouTube channel and stuff. And they're like, well, good luck with that. I guess, well, that means that's all I need to know. We're not going out again. They're saying good luck with that, So it's just like, it's such a waste of time. Plus, being in the 50s and dating is really I won't swear. It's not a great thing. It's not a great thing to do in your 50s. It kind of sucks. So it's especially like, I don't feel like I'm in my 50s. I feel young, I really do. And people tell me I look younger and I act younger. People even tell me I sound younger on the phone. I don't sound like an old 57, 58-year-old guy. So, it's hard to, I don't know. It's just hard to date someone that's in my age group. And also, and younger people aren't carnivore. So I don't know. It's really hard. It's not fun. So I don't do the I Eat Carnivore Reveal on the dates too often. In the past I did. I'd be like, hey, you want my sides? Because I don't eat any sides. I only eat meat. And I've done that a couple times. And usually the dates are like, oh yeah, my daughter will love that or whatever, And the whole time I'm eating, I'm looking at what they're eating and they're thinking they're eating healthy. And I'm like, man, that's terrible. That salad with that poison on there.
Right.
It's just awful. And I'm like, oh,
poison with a topping of poison. Awesome.
Yeah, exactly. And I asked him, like, oh, I love salads. I could never do that because I love my salad. I'm like, really? Have you ever eaten a salad without any dressing on it? No. Okay, well, maybe you don't love your salad. Maybe you love salad dressing that has sugar in it. It's an addiction, and I'm, so I try not to get into it, but it's hard not to. And because it's such a big part of my life now, it is. I mean, I identify as a carnivore. It's kind of like being a Christian. It's foundational. I'm a Christian, I'm a carnivore, and I'm a conservative. And those are the three hills that people will defend to the death. And that is politics, religion, and diet. I've learned that. So, yeah. Best not to go on a date and reveal any of those things. Best to have that out front before you waste your time on a date.
Yeah, I get that. So Josh Allen is saying, a little bit to your point there, when I enter a supermarket to buy meat, I have to go through the fresh produce section and it all looks unappealing and pointless. Yes. It's a junk food section, like the chips and chocolate section. Yes. I never thought of it as like a junk food section, but I've thought of it in a similar light, right? Like I look at that stuff now on people's plates or wherever I see it. And it's like, it just holds no appeal at all. Just like the chips and other things too. Like I see it and it's like, that's not food. It doesn't like register as food anymore.
So I still look at people's baskets in the grocery store, but I've changed what I'm looking at now. Because before I used to look at it and go, oh my gosh, so none of that's food. They don't even have food in their basket. I'd be looking and like 99% of what they have is not food. But now I look, and if I see someone in the meat aisle, I'm like, oh, are they a carnivore? I start looking like, what do they have in their basket? Even if it doesn't matter if they're male, I'm just interested in there's other carnivores near me. I'm just like looking to see if their basket looks like it's a carnivore basket. And I haven't seen one yet, but I thought for a little bit, I thought, oh, look, that person might be a carnivore. And then
so when I went to the grass-fed beef ranch, they only have pickup days. They have pickup days like 2 days a month where you can, if you can pre-order and pick it up, or you can just go and see what they have. But it's a working ranch. They don't really have a storefront. They just have this like big giant shed thing with some freezers in there. And 2 days a month, they have people there manning that. And you can just go see what they have. Or like if you placed an order, you can pick it up. Anyways, there was definitely 2 guys there. I should have just done it with my carnivore confidence. I want to be like, are you a carnivore? Because they were like these like buff guys that clearly work out.
Yeah.
And they're picking up their box of meat from the local rancher, you know. I was like, I should have just asked them. I should have just done interviews on the interviews at the ranch because the rancher was not available to talk to me. Are you a carnivore by chance? Is that all you eat?
That's funny. Yeah, no doubt. I mean, that's funny.
They were joking around about the carnivore dating app, and Charlie said, "LOL, Meat Market is the name of the dating app."
Actually, I think who is it? Michaela Peterson was talking about making an app.
Okay.
Or funding an app, something like that, starting an app for that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But still would be messed up probably. I don't know. Dating's not fun at this age.
Yeah. I'm sorry about that.
No, that's all right. I never planned to be single, you know. I mean, it just happened. So
yeah. TNT says, greetings from snowy Seward, Alaska. That's awesome.
Nice.
Okay, so this is cool. John Allen, my carnivore baby granddaughter Daisy is 1 year old today. Off the charts development, walking before 9 months, lives on egg and bacon for breakfast, and loves to chew on a fatty lamb chop for dinner. I mean, that's awesome, John Allen.
John Allen, he's from Australia, and he's an Air Force veteran. So he's one of my vets. He's one of my
amazing people. Yeah, I want to talk to you a little bit about that. Let's get into that in a minute. So John Allen, I hope to see you around because I want to hear reports. Like as Daisy's growing up, I want all the reports. When Daisy starts school, I want to know about it. I'm a teacher, so that interests me a lot to see how a carnivore kid would do in school. Deb is here saying hello. So hi, Deb. DC, here we go. So he's challenging me to add weights and do some weighted sprints. I do have some like ankle weights that you could wear like on your wrists or ankles or whatever, and they're adjustable. I don't know, DC.
I wouldn't do that. That puts stress on your joints. I would put a weight vest like he's talking about. I have a weight vest. Yeah, I would do a weight.
I don't have a weight vest.
Yeah, I have one.
I don't have a weight vest. Yeah, maybe. And Twin Maples is here. So
nice.
Hi, Twin Maples. Nice to see you. I wanted to ask you about the carnivore community, your channel, and like what this is like to your point a second ago about the veterans, but what do you feel is your place in it? Like what's your mission, Carnivore Soldier?
Yeah. So Mission Carnivore is what I'm all about, which is focusing on how the carnivore diet can help veterans and first responders in their communities, because we have very high suicide rate. We have a lot of depression, a lot of physical and mental and physical issues that go along with, because we are the warrior class. So we stand in the gap and we take a lot of punishment in our whole life. And that's kind of what we're geared to do. And then what we do is we don't complain. We suck it up and drive on, and we don't seek help. We like to self-help. So when I found this diet, I realized that, hey, I don't have to go to a doctor. I don't have to set up counseling. I don't have to get prescription drugs. I can just do this myself. And it worked. And I was like, wow, that's super powerful. We had this tool and we can get it out to the veteran and first responder community, who are many of them suffering in silence like I was, right? Mm-hmm. Then we can save lives, because 22 veterans a day is the number that are committing suicide. And that's not even a full number, because it doesn't include the veterans that OD. A lot of them are just considered drug addicts. And those are self-medicating typically, I think. And then it doesn't include several states, including Texas and California, that don't add their numbers to those. So, if we can make an appreciable dent in that, it can save lives. And I really believe that. And that's what I want to do, is be a veteran voice to speak to other veterans about our mental health issues, our physical issues, and how we've healed it through diet alone, getting off medications, getting, back to normal, becoming kind of like I feel like I was when I came in the military again. It's crazy. Mm. And it's really recapturing all that. I know, it's not just for veterans either. I mean, there's plenty of civilian people that are just supporters, or people that are just looking for a carnivore message that they like. Like Christy, you've got a different delivery than I do. You said you like my delivery. Great. My delivery is what I call bottom line up front, bluff. What's it called in the military? We just tell you the way it is. I don't care if you like me. I don't care if you disagree with me. It doesn't matter. It's just my opinion. If you like it, great. Some people are a lot different. Like, you think of Carrie Mann and Dante Fregno, they are completely different ways of communicating than I do, which is great, right? Which is great.
Yeah.
I mean, because there's certain people who will click in with them, and you've got your Lioness Club. I forget what you call it.
Lioness Lifestyle. Yes.
Lioness Lifestyle. Yeah.
Focusing on the female side of things. Absolutely.
Sure.
Very important.
There's plenty of females will be into that. I'm not into it. I mean, I've seen it a couple times, but it's not my cup of tea, right? Which is good.
Right.
That's okay. If everyone was the same, there'd be no sense in making another channel, right?
Right.
So the fact that we're all different and that we can connect to people in different ways is really what grassroots movements are like. And so I'm all about the veteran and first responders. And that's pretty much my focus.
That's amazing. Have you been able to, do you have any examples, like success stories or people that you've been able to reach out to and help, or who have talked to you?
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm not going to bring names up or anything, but there's
no, I wouldn't expect that.
Plenty of people that just either found me during their early success or before their success and went this way, or people that were looking for guidance that trust another veteran, right? Or even I've had active duty soldiers and sailors, or actually this guy was a Coast Guard guy, came to me and like, hey, and actually active duty sailors too, how can I get this thing to work while I'm active duty? And being a former sailor and soldier, I was able to give them a lot of good tips on how you could do that, and how you could augment your meals and, try to be carnivore-ish when you have to eat government food, which you can do.
Yeah.
Because I used to do it with keto. So I used to do keto in the field. So I know you can do keto. I know you could strip it down. So I did a lot of that. I broke down the MRE. So, I mean, yeah, I've had people that have switched over and like crushed their PT test, changed their body composition, just changed their whole, gotten off drugs. So yeah, there's a lot of great success stories, and it's just building this community of veterans where we can talk to each other and, share that we like. The other thing is veterans like to talk to other veterans. I don't know. It's nothing against civilians or anything. It's just sometimes y'all don't get us, and we can be a little gruff and direct, like my style. And some people get, their feathers bent out of shape over it. Veterans don't. Like, I can just say whatever I want to a veteran, and they're gonna say whatever they want back to me. I mean, that's the way it is. We're not gonna, get bent out of shape and complain and go cry to mama and whatever, quit a group or whatever,
Yeah.
and then announce that we're leaving, which it cracks me up. It's like, holy cow, this is not an airport. You don't have to announce your departure. Just leave,
Right.
Please.
Right. That's really funny because I talk to my students that way. I mean, I'm not as, okay. I appreciate your delivery. I'm not as that straightforward as you are. I am not a veteran, but I am a teacher. And I do see just everyone is offended all the time. And it bleeds over into the kids. And it's like, oh, just stop it. I'm like, so this happened. So you're going to go curl up in a ball, cry to your mommy, suck your thumb, and get your binky. Is that what we're going to do here? I'll say that to my students, and they're like, no, because you guys, they're 10 and 11 years old. They're more than halfway to adults, And it's like, when they leave me, they've got to go to middle school. So I feel this burden, to get them there and get them ready and toughen them up a little bit. They're not little kids anymore,
The parents should be doing that. The problem is,
and they don't.
Exactly. And the problem is, I mean, I served in the Army National Guard from 2003 to 2019. And during that period, I saw a continual decline in the quality of troops and quality of people that we were getting. That they were narcissistic, more and more. They were, terrible quality, terrible personality. I mean, there were exceptions, and those guys accelerated rapidly and gals, because they were regular people. They were but there's so many people that are just offended by everything and,
Yep.
want everything shaped around them. It's like, listen,
Yep.
when you go into combat, these jihadis are not going to, they're going to kill you, right? They're not going to
Mhm.
like say, oh, did I hurt your feelings? Or, I mean, they have these like stress cards now in basic training where they can pull a card out if they're getting too stressed out. It's like, what are you going to do in a firefight? There's no stress card.
Stress card. Please
Yeah,
stop shooting your weapon.
the stress is meant to be there to see if people will break and to condition them, because you can't put them in physical danger, right?
Mhm.
But we can put them in emotional stress, and that's why we did the screaming and all the harsh things in school, and that's why, and you understand that, because when you get these soldiers, there's still a lot of them are just going to collapse into a ball in a gunfight or whatever, and they're going to do whatever they're going to do. But at least they've been stressed out, they've been somewhat tested. But
Mhm.
if you can't even do that, well, we're getting
Yeah.
a bunch of people that, you might as well just sit behind a typewriter or a computer or something, because you're not useful to anybody. You can't even drive a vehicle out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah,
I mean,
the quality just went down.
I see it all the time. I think we're up to, I say we because I have a team teacher, so we take all of our students and we each teach them. So I've got like 60 because I got mine and hers. But anyway, I mean, you send an email home to say like, okay, your child did XYZ, fill in the blank, and pretty soon, you sent home a couple. You ask for a meeting, the parent says, "Oh no, we'll talk to them and they'll be better." Then they're not better. And then the next thing they want is they want a personal email every day. So I'm supposed to, there's 5 students now where I'm doing a personal communication to that parent every single day, like the daily report about their kid and what they did. And it's like, what if all 60 of them wanted that, Larry? Then what
Yeah.
would I do?
Yeah.
And it's because they want everything kind of bent around them. They want like special personal attention or something. Um, but it
Yeah.
doesn't improve the
And
behavior just because I tell them, well, they did this and this and this today.
the
Guess what?
kids,
Tomorrow they're going to do it again.
yeah, the kids get bent. They get raised improperly, so they're not good quality stock. And then a
Mhm.
drill instructor has 6 weeks to get them into shape, to whip them into a person
Right.
that can be relied upon, that can do what's right, that can, and that's not going to happen. And be
Yeah.
motivated, right? And so
Right.
we have people come right out of schools, their advanced training schools, and they can't even pass their PT test. I'm like, really? You just came out of basic and your advanced school and you can't run a PT test 6 weeks
Mhm.
afterwards? It's like, I was old and I was passing these soldiers. I'm like, man, don't let this old chief pass you up. And
Right.
they did. I'm like, man, these guys are just, anyway. I'm ranting now, but yeah, it is a problem with our military, for sure.
Yeah. Militarian Runner says, I've heard stories about basic training getting pretty soft. Didn't realize it got that bad. Stress cards, seriously,
Yeah,
LOL.
yeah,
But a couple more people popped in. I think I said hi to Deb already. I said that one already. Okay, so yes, Jay is saying, I used to say I liked Brussels sprouts. Turned out I only liked them because I sauteed them in lard and tossed with bacon bits and balsamic vinegar. So yeah,
yep.
lard and bacon. That's the part you liked, Jay. I'm with that. Same thing for me on those Brussels sprouts and cheese. If you put a little cheese on there, that's the part I liked. Yes, I'm jealous, Twin Maples. I have about 75 pounds of ribeye in the freezer and 30
Nice.
pounds of burger. Yeah, that's amazing. And he also says there's a local farmer who does grass-fed and finished beef. I need to reach out. Please reach out because I think it's always great to support your local person. We have been getting porterhouse specials. Well, that's awesome. I still haven't done like a porterhouse or a T-bone since going carnivore. It's like on my list of things I need to do since going carnivore. And yeah, so Twin Maples is asking, how is my son doing with the semi-carnivore world? So he's doing very well. I just finished filming the wrap up for week 2. So I've got all the food. I've just got to edit that together and put that up there. His week 1 was some pretty dramatic changes. We're just like waiting and hoping to see if it's going to help with school. I mean, nobody likes school, right? So I don't know if it's going to give him enough mental clarity to like actually buckle down and do his schoolwork. Jury is still out on that one. But as far as some other things, when that video comes out, if you haven't seen week 1, Twin Maples, go watch that. Some pretty cool stuff happened. And then week 2, like I said, I've got that all filmed now and I just need to edit together and like upload it. So, but he's doing well and he does like the food. And like today he had the day off because his school was off for President's Day and my school wasn't. And he texted me and said, what can I eat for lunch? And I said, oh, just grab one of those. We have like the Teton sausages and get some cheese. So this is the text I get back. And I never would have gotten a text like this. He goes, I got creative. And then he sends me this picture. He had wrapped the cheese around the sausage. And like, he said, I microwaved it like on a low power for like 30 seconds to kind of get the cheese melty. And then he ate it like that. And he was all proud of himself. And I said, was it good? And he said, yes. And I'm like, all right, awesome. So when left to his own devices, he got a carnivore meal for himself. It was pretty cool.
That's good. Have you seen the video I did with Darlene with her ADHD child? So her child came off all ADHD meds and our SSRIs, which he was on all those. And he was only like 8 or 7.
Wow.
And a totally different kid. Never got above like a C at grade average. He's got all A's and B's now. First semester after going carnivore. But his family gave him her family gave her so much hell for taking her off all these and putting him on a diet.
Right.
But I tell you what, it's amazing. So check out Darlene's video on my it's on my playlist for the Carnivore Way. It's really good.
I think you told me about it and I was going to go watch it and I just forgot about it. But yes, I need to go do that. So he has tried medication, did not like the medication. So he's not been on medication, but he really struggles with a lot of things. But of course, being in high school now, the biggest one is school, just because he needs to flip and graduate, so it's like, if I can just get him to pass his classes so he can graduate. That's kind of what I'm looking for. So Eric, the carnivore Carnivore RN popped in saying hello. So hello.
He's another veteran, Army vet.
Oh, awesome.
He's on my mission carnivore.
That's awesome.
He works for the VA now, so now he serves veterans.
Oh, that's even better. Militarian Runner says, my military company keeps in touch through a Facebook group, and we often get guys reaching out for help in times of need. That's great. It kept some of us from going down a bad path for sure. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, hey man, send them if you want to direct them towards a carnivore that's got a channel under my channel, and tell me you sent me, and I always tell them when veterans come on my channel, you can email me directly at carnivoresoldier@gmail.com. I will respond.
That's awesome. Okay, and then yes, Twin Maple, sometimes you got to call BS. Yes, I agree 100%. I will call them out. Most teachers don't do that anymore. You're not really supposed to do that anymore, but okay, I'm just checking through this is nice. Beach Bum, hello from Gilchrist, Texas. Love your lives. Definitely tough to be single eating BBBEs and salt. Yep. Thank y'all. So there you go. You got some sympathy there.
That's right.
Nice to meet you. 333 Jim found this life through Carnivore Soldier. Met him in person at Rudy's outside of Austin. That's cool. He's the real deal in helping others. Just subbed your channel. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, great do that. If you're on
Appreciate you.
sub to Meeting Wellness for sure. If you're from
there, we go.
Channel.
I'll take that down. Those are both of our channel handles. So if you're coming on my channel and you haven't met Larry yet, he has a great channel, Carnivore Soldier, and you can see my handle there at Meeting Wellness. Just looking through. I just want to make sure we get all the comments, and then I know you have an announcement, Larry.
Oh yeah.
When people watch from Facebook, unfortunately we can't see their name. So Facebook user, whoever you are out there, thank you for tuning in from Facebook. Excellent dialogue so far. Crazy to hear about the soft recruits failing PT test right after basic. Also loving similar stories of teaching kids carnivore snacking. My students know I'm a carnivore, and lately I think because Valentine's Day is coming up, they're like, do you eat chocolate though? And I'm like, what do I eat? And they're like, oh yeah, meat. And I'm like, okay. They're like, so what snacks do you like? And I'm like, beef jerky. If you can find any without sugar, I mean, good luck with that, kids. They're just trying to do something nice. I'll just be like, make me a card. I kind of know why they're asking, Anyways, but they all know, and they know I have a channel too. Twin Maples, as a homesteader, thought I was going to grow my own meats, still in process. I would imagine that's a long process. Like I would imagine there's a lot to learn and like some stuff to go, but 4 sheep and 2 lambs in the backyard, not a quick process. Yeah. It doesn't seem like it would be a quick process.
So my son's 14 and he and his friends think it's really cool that I'm a YouTuber and I've got like 7,000 subscribers now or something. They're like, oh my gosh, your dad's already at 7,000. Or like, it's like I'm the talk. And I actually game with them every now and then because that's the way I can communicate with my son when he's not with me.
Yep.
So I get on the channel and we get there and talk. So I'm with all his friends playing, and they call me Colton's dad. Hey, Colton's dad, go do this. Hey, Colton's dad, it's hilarious. Yeah.
That's funny. Some of my students have like put up a little videos on like, I have a channel, but I only have 2 videos and only 7 people watched it. And how do you already have, this many subscribers? Like I'm climbing up towards 2,000 subs now. And yeah, they're always asking me, and they'll be like, last time I saw you, you were at 1,000 and now you're at whatever. I don't even know, but it's getting close to 2,000.
That Facebook post is my brother, Ken.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Yeah, he subbed to you just now, by the way. Ken.
Oh,
Ken,
thank you.
My brother, my little brother.
Okay. Oh, little brothers. I have 2 little brothers. So I hear you on the little brother front for sure. I don't think my little brothers are subbed to me. Either one of them, Larry. A lot of help they are around here. But
my little brother and my baby sister both are. So
that's awesome. Yeah, mine are not supportive. I don't know what to tell you. They think it's awesome that I'm doing this, but I can pretty much guarantee you they didn't sub. Tracy would like to know if you came up with a day for your March meetup. That's cool that you're doing a meetup. I'm considering doing a meetup, Larry, because I've been asked. If I do meetups, because there's no Southern California carnivores. It's like a desert out here for carnivores.
Well, you're the oasis then. Now
That's
you have to
right.
make that happen. I did it here in Austin, and we had, I don't know, probably 18 to 20 people show up. People came from hours away, like from Dallas and from Houston and San Antonio. It was fantastic. And so in March, that's my carniversary, March 22nd. So we were talking about having one in March to celebrate my 1 year. So I will schedule it in March. I haven't done that yet. I'll probably do that in the next week or 2.
Cool.
And then so that's great. That's coming up.
So speaking of meetups, we do have a few more comments and things. But speaking of meetups in Texas, there's a big one coming up in May, Larry, that neither one of us are in charge of, but we will both be there. Do you want to talk about that a little bit and talk about your announcement?
Yeah, it's KetoCon Hack Your Health. And I'm interviewing Robin Switzer, which is the CEO and founder of Hack Your Health, KetoCon, which she's rebranding as Hack Your Health. Right now, it's kind of both. And it's been KetoCon. The reason she went to Hack Your Health because she wants it to be more inclusive and more carnivore. Like most of the speakers, if you look at the speakers coming there, like I would say probably about half of them are carnivores. And Dr. Wiedemann's going to be there, Dr. Baker, Dr. Chafee, Dr. Kiltz. There's tons of great speakers there. Dr. Berg's going to be there.
Dr. Boz too.
Yeah. Barry's not going to be there this time, but we have a ton of doctors going to be there. So it's going to be fun. So I'm interviewing her. We'll be talking about not this Saturday, but the next Saturday, I think. And so the prices are going up. Right now it's $249, but I have a $50 coupon discount. You can just type in Carnivore Soldier in all caps, and you can put it in the description of this video too, Christy, if you would. I'll put it in mine. Just so you guys know, Carnivore Soldier, all one word, in caps. That is a $50 discount coupon. So right now you can get tickets for the whole weekend for $199. March 1st, it goes up $50 more. And again, April 1st and May 1st goes up another $50. So it's going to be $150 more if you wait till May. So if you want to get going for less than $200, you can get tickets. And there's a lot of carnivores going. A lot of people from all over are going. Christy's going. I'm going.
I'll be there.
Dave Saulnier's going. I know he's a buddy of mine. He's a veteran. Yeah. Some veterans are going. So you can still get in for less than $200 for 3 days, which is amazing. Right. And anyway, I just recommend you do it, and definitely check out the interview because she's really, really cool cat. She's got some very interesting stuff, and she has a great carnivore story too. She's a carnivore. So yeah, interesting.
Yeah, I'm excited to go because this will be my first, I don't know, convention, meetup type of thing like that. And there's so many people that I've met online that are going, like Limitless Lindy from Australia and her whole crew are going to be there too. Like Todd and those guys are coming out. And so that was what pushed me over the edge. I'm like, well, if Lindy's flying from Australia, then I can fly from California.
Exactly.
But then I feel like there's going to be so many people that I want to meet in real life that I'm going to like maybe miss some of the speakers because I don't know how I'm going to fit in all my friends. How do I do it all?
Well, yeah, Dante Fragno is going to be there, and he's the guy that got me going on this. So I'm going to be watching. I'm meeting with him for sure, and then Carrie Mann's going to be there. So you know, there's regular people, but then there's also the doctors. Like I've already going to meet with Dr. Chafee and Dr. Kiltz. So I got some. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's going to be fun. Plus all the speakers. I mean, just great speakers. And if you've never been to a convention like that, most people have. The energy level's off the shelf, right? I mean, it's spiked. And when you get in there with all these people that are all, you're going to come away with such conviction. It's going to help you stay on track, and it's going to help you develop your carnivore self, to become the best carnivore you can, really, I think.
Yeah, that's awesome. My mom is going to be there with me too. So any of you on my channel that have heard me talk about my mom, who's 71 and meat-based, heavy meat, keto, just thriving. She's in Greece right now. She walks more steps than I do. Like, I don't wear a Fitbit, but like I for sure know, because she walks like 15,000 steps a day. Stuff like that. Like, she's doing amazing. She's going to be there too with me. So yeah, I'm excited for it. I can't wait to be there, meet everybody, see the doctors, I hope in person, and all of that good stuff. So Darth Carnivore said that he just subbed to your channel, Larry. So there you go.
Nice.
Yes. And Susan is in the same boat as me, wanting to watch that video because her 13-year-old granddaughter has ADHD and is on meds.
Yeah. It's on my playlist called The Carnivore Way is the playlist. It's also a podcast. So you can listen to it. You don't have to watch it, but if you want, you can watch it. And Darlene she has an 8-year-old son, and she said like every morning was a battle. It was literal warfare in her household as a single mother with this child who was on, SSRIs and all kinds of drugs. And basically the drugs to give kids for ADHD is methamphetamine. It's what the Adderall is what the Nazis used to keep their troops awake when they're doing their blitz attacks. I know, because we study this in military history. And I mean, that's what it is. It's just in lower doses, but it literally, is that good for kids to take methamphetamine or a form of it? It's just, so anyway, that's what she was asking herself. And she got her son off all this stuff. And like I said, different kid, completely different kid.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm excited to see how my son does. Everybody say a prayer for him that after the 30 days, because that's what I got him to agree to, right? 30 days. I'm hoping he'll be willing to try another 30, or, keep at it. He seems to like the food just fine. And, he's mostly meat and eggs and I, like I said, oh, hi, doggy.
My service dog.
Aw.
Come here. Come. He wants to go out.
Aw. He's like, please. Yeah. Isn't it time now? Anyway, mostly me, but I didn't want to just pull the desserts away. That's how I got him. So I'll do I tried to do Kilta's ice cream. That's a whole long story. It's not working. Anyways, so I went ahead and did these keto cookies, because because that's what he said to me. He was not wrong, Larry. He said, okay, I will try it for 30 days, but the hardest thing to give up is going to be ice cream. And I was like, okay, what if we can find a replacement that we can both be happy with, So that's kind of where we met in the middle. So we'll see. I'm hoping after 30 days, so I'm going to go watch that video, and hopefully, we'll get some insights too, maybe that I can use for him. So Darth Carnivore says bacon roses for Valentine's Day. Yes. Nice. Give me some bacon roses. That would be amazing. That would be funny.
Cake. My brother did an oopsie cake, and that's from what's her name? Kelly Hogan.
Yes.
It was an oopsie cake recipe, and my brother said he took it to a regular Super Bowl, and it was hit with the SAD people, the Standard American Diet people, like
really. So I made oopsie cake. Did he put any sweetener in that oopsie cake?
He probably did.
I made an oopsie cake. Yeah. So I made an oopsie cake on a live like a pre-recorded. Okay. So another carnivore taught me how to do it. We used StreamYard to record it. We both made an oopsie cake. It was pretty good, but we didn't put sweetener in ours. So I'm thinking with the SAD diet people, if you didn't put sweetener in it, they may not go for it. But I thought it was pretty good.
You probably put some sweetener in it.
Yeah, I could see with sweetener in there that it would be a slam dunk, because it was
stevia. Good. Yeah, and that's when you do the ice cream for Kilts, you can do put a little bit of vanilla in there, a little bit of cinnamon, and then put some sweetener in there.
Yeah, my problem is, Larry, that I bought a Ninja Creamy, and what it keeps doing is making butter. Because of the high fat, because it spins it, and it just makes butter, and it's not good butter either. It's gross,
no. You need an ice cream maker.
Well, the Ninja Creamy, what it's supposed to do. Yeah, I already spent $200 on the creamy, so I think we're gonna tweak the recipe until we get something that turns out more like ice cream and less like weird grainy butter. But anyways,
Yeah.
so Protected Lady is also saying that she is triple C,
Triple
Christian,
C.
carnivore, and conservative.
Nice. That's it.
C to the third power.
I am a C cube. Yep.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna let my dog out. I'll be right back. I know you're
Yeah,
about to
go for it. Go for it. I'm just looking through the comments. So we've got Twin Maple saying, closest I am to being a veteran, law enforcement for 10 years, no real comparative, but I do understand. Yeah, first responders. And when Larry comes back, I'm sure he will, because I've heard him speak to this before, that first responders have similar issues. And so Mike Shaw is saying, we love our first responders. Thank you, Twin Maples. We absolutely love our first responders. Mike. Okay, Mike, if you do this to me when Zoe Harcombe is on with me, I will not be putting that comment up, but it's cool here. Don't tase me, bro. So that's funny. Okay, so I put in, if you want to go to keto, hack your health, KetoCon, Carnivore Soldier, all caps, that is the discount code that will give you the $50 off. Tracy, late to the party, but finally made it. Hi, Tracy. Welcome. Late is fine. Oh, wow. Ryan ate 2 ribeyes today and Bitcoin broke above 50K. Life is good. Okay. Have I ever had a 2 ribeye day? The answer is no, I have not. But Ryan, let me tell you, you have, Larry, a 2 ribeye day? Okay.
Yeah, that's all I ate was 2 ribeyes that day, but yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I need to do that. So here's my plan for the first day of summer vacation, because everybody knows or can probably imagine that the first day of summer vacation is a really awesome day for a teacher. Like, we love it so much. I want to do an expensive carnivore day. And I think so 2 ribeyes, that would do it. Like, that'd be a pretty, expensive carnivore day.
No. You need to go to the Brazilian steakhouse.
Yes, I could do that, but we're probably going to do that when we're in Austin for KetoCon, because my mom said we're staying with her cousin, and my mom said we need to take her cousin out for a nice dinner since she's letting us stay. And I'm like, sweet, we can go to the Brazilian steakhouse because that's a nice dinner. Hey, so listen, we're going to do that.
There's a Brazilian steakhouse in the Austin area that on Saturdays and Sundays has a brunch, and it's only $50 instead of $100. It's half price, same menu.
Nice.
So I'll send you that in case you want to go hit a lunch instead of a dinner and then go to dinner somewhere else. Yes. I mean, half price when you got a bunch of people, that's a good deal.
That is a good deal. I'm thinking that might be the way to go. Yeah. But I think what I'm going to do, Larry, is I'm not going to do the 2 ribeye day, because if you know me at all, you know that I do love a ribeye, but my really favorite is picanha. And they have Wagyu picanha. And I think I'm going to have to get a Wagyu picanha for my expensive carnivore day. And just
Wagyu is amazing.
I've never had Wagyu, but Wagyu picanha, I mean, come on. So I think I'm going to have to order one of those and go with that. So yeah, I think that's going to be what I'm eating on the first day of summer vacation. I'm very excited about it. So I told them, Larry, that when you came back, you would bring up first responders, because I know I've heard you speak very favorably and positively towards first responders, because we had someone in the comments, it was Twin Maples, talking about being a police officer for 10 years. So I said, I know that when Larry comes back, he'll touch on that.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's the same deal as the veterans, where we're the same class. We're the warrior class of the society, right? We're like, there's a caste system. We're the warriors. So, I mean, again, police officers, firefighters, and paramedics, those guys, the first responders, are paying a price daily, emotionally, physically, mentally. And, this diet really helps us. This is part of my focus is first responders. I include them in with the veterans, because I did work at San Mateo Police Department for 5 years. And that's that picture right back there. That's my police department picture. Okay. So I've worked in law enforcement with police, and I know it's not uncommon for people to retire and not live very long afterwards. It's very common, actually. And sometimes it's suicide, sometimes it's just drinking or whatever. But it's the same with the military. Separation of service, whether you're first responder or military, because you're not on mission anymore, and you're not part of this high-speed team anymore, and it's easy to self-isolate and just self-medicate. And that's, yeah, San Mateo. I said, yeah, I was in San Mateo, California. And I think that's one of the things that this diet, I mean, think about the other thing about this diet is it helps you with all your addictions. Like all addictions are plant-based when it comes down to it, basically. But, alcohol, opiates, caffeine, sugar, all plant-based, right? Nicotine, all plant-based. And one of the amazing facets of this diet, when you get really clean into it, is you don't even desire that stuff anymore. Even gambling. I mean, I've talked to the Carnivore Cure, right? He lost all that weight, and he used to be a really addictive gambler, and his desire to gamble went away, right? My desire to take risks. I was a huge risk taker with a lot of different things. I don't take risks like I used to anymore. It's really changed a lot in my mental, thought process. So yeah, I think it's really healthy for first responders and veterans. And if you're in that class, then you need to get on my channel and join my community and share your stories, because that's the other thing, is sharing stories about this and talking between each other. We can relate, because we've been there. We've lost our friends, we lost our family, and that's just the way it is. So yeah, it's a big deal. So yeah. Christy, this is something we have here in HEB, our grocery store, Wagyu beef burgers.
Okay. So what's the difference? Like, what do you notice on that Wagyu beef burgers? I know it's a lot of fat in there, right? They're like fatty. The flavor of that
every bite is juicy and filled with flavor that you won't get with any other burger. No other burger will be like that you've ever had.
So if I buy that, I'm going to spoil myself and I won't go back to my Walmart Great Value burger patties. Is that what you're saying, Larry?
Yeah. Hey, these are the special burgers I get from my son when he comes over. I grill Wagyu burgers for him, and that way, when he goes to Dad's, he's going to have really good burgers. So, Gail says she knew a friend that worked for San Mateo PD. So I was there from 2001 to 2006. So probably older than your friend, I imagine.
Right there. I found it. I was fast forwarding through to try to find what you were talking about. Yeah, San Mateo. Okay, that's cool. So yeah, I hear you, Protected Lady, saying I'm only addicted to meat and the Carnivore YouTube channels now. Yeah. Laughing face emoji. Yeah,
but yeah, that's the difference. You're not addicted, right? It's like no one ever had a steak, and you're like, oh, I gotta get another hit of that steak, and then start jonesing for it. Because I think addictions have that jonesing thing, like sugar, like nicotine, like caffeine. You give that up, and you feel it physically. And steaks may be great, but I could eat burger instead of steak, or hot dog. I mean, it doesn't make me like, oh, I won't do outlandish things to get a steak. Over a burger or something.
And also to what you said, when I'm done eating a steak, I absolutely do not want another bite of steak. Like, no, thank you. Right. Steak does not sound good right now. I'm a little hungry now, and I'm going to go have a couple burger patties with some butter on them. And that just sounds absolutely delicious. I have steak. I know how to cook it from frozen now, and that's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to go get a couple burger patties and cook those up with butter, because that's what sounds good to me at this moment. It's not because you said Wagyu burgers. It's because that's already what I was planning to do.
But Wagyu burgers are amazing. And I love that I can get them there. They're a little more expensive, but you know what? It's okay. It's worth it.
I'm going to have to go look for that and see. I haven't looked for it. I'm going to have to go see if I can find it for sure. But, and as far as the carnivore YouTube channels, I mean, I don't know any other carnivores in real life. Right. I think that's why I'm excited for KetoCon, to meet some of you in real life. But still, that's one weekend out of my life where I get to see you guys in person, shake your hand, all that stuff. But this is how I stay, I don't know, like grounded with my tribe or whatever. It's like, and I can see other people's experiences. I can hear them. If I'm having a struggle, I can for sure find someone that's had it or is having it right now. If I need to hear it like it is, I go watch Larry, because he's going to tell it to me straight, which I do appreciate. And so but I'm with you on that. I come home from work and, see if anybody that I like to follow has posted anything new, or maybe look around and do some recruiting for Linus Lifestyle, see if I find any new carnivore channels out there, that kind of thing. So, I like, I meet more people that way. than I could in real life. People from Canada, people from Texas, like Larry here, people from Australia, you know, all over, like DC, who was in here earlier. So that's kind of why I stick with the YouTube, just for that reason, because I don't know anybody in real life. I know some people on keto in real life, and we eat very similarly, you know, but it's not 100% the same, right?
Right.
So anyway, all right. Well, oh, okay. Wagyu burgers from my local butcher. I found a local butcher a while back, and I have yet to actually go there and see what they have, because it's like too many things on my carnivore to-do list that
You know,
I
you
don't
can get
always.
the Wagyu tallow too, and
I
melt
do
it over
get
your
that.
steaks.
I
Yeah,
do
and
get
it
that.
gives a
Yeah, the
little
Chicago Packing Company
Yep,
Wagyu
that's what I get.
tallow. Oh,
The
100%.
blue
That stuff
barrel,
is
yeah, so good.
so good. Yes. And Protected Ladies, you got to try that Wagyu burger. It's definitely amazing. I got lucky and
100%.
found it here in Virginia once. Haven't found it again. Okay, yeah.
We have it here
So
every day in Texas. So
yeah,
super
I
blessed
bet
to
we
be
have.
in Texas.
I bet we have it here in California. I bet we do. I just haven't looked for it. I just haven't thought to look for it. I'm gonna go look for it. Karen is checking out the Hack Your Health speakers, a ton of good ones. Then on top
Yep.
of meeting others, very overwhelming. I know, Karen, and here's the thing. I've said to a lot of people, like, oh, we'll have to meet. But like, we don't have a plan to meet. So yeah, we just got to figure that out. I can imagine. I mean, I've never been. Have you been before, Larry? Is the venue like large?
I know the venue. The venue's large. It's
So
downtown. It's a good size. It's not the big convention center. It's a smaller one across the river, but
okay.
it's still very large. I've been to several. What do you call them? Those home renovation ones where they have like hot tub companies and all the different technologies for your home. I
Yeah.
forget what they call it. I've been to a couple of those there, and it's a big venue. So yeah, but meeting up will be easy because I can probably put a little map together for y'all that are going. If y'all want to reach out to me, I can get a little map of where the venue is, like where the main restaurants are around it.
Cool.
And it's in a good area. It's the better area. I think that it's not right downtown. It's across the river, so it's at least it used to be a little better. There are some aggressive homeless people in Austin, and but it's gonna be during the day, so you're probably okay.
Right. Okay. Well, yeah, if you do that and we can figure it out. So, yeah, because I definitely want to meet with people, and everyone is like talking about meeting up, but
Yes.
I've never been. Have I been to Texas? I mean, maybe I don't remember. So maybe when I was little, we used to drive out. We used to do driving vacations. So maybe when I was really little, I don't know, but I don't know my way around. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm just going to be there. I'm going to kind of I have a car I can use. So hopefully
Cool.
she'll be okay with that, and we can, do what we got to do.
You can definitely Uber around there pretty easy too.
Okay. Good to know. So Protected Ladies moving to Texas. That's cool.
Wow. Yeah. Is she saying that just because we have Wagyu here every day?
Yeah, because we have Wagyu every day. Yes, I would go somewhere where I could have Wagyu every day. Thank you, Lady Fritzader. Hey kids, y'all looking so young these days. Christy and Larry, do you hear that, Larry? We are looking young.
Well, I got a couple more years till I get to middle age, according to Chafee. So I'm gonna make it to 120.
So at 48, then I'm downright still young. I mean, looking young because I am young. What are you talking about? Awesome. Well, everybody, we've been going at this for over an hour now, and I don't see any more questions or anything in the chat. So I think we're about ready to wrap this up. Unless anybody has any more questions, we'd be happy to answer them. Everyone's just chatting away. I love that. That's my favorite thing when I'm watching a live. Larry, do you do that? I watch lives and go in the chat and just chat with my friends.
Yep.
I love that.
Do.
All right. I told Larry that he was going to get to end this live stream because I want him to, because he has a really good sign off. So Larry, take it away.
Yeah, this is the way we sign out in the military. When we say our call sign and then say out. So I'm going to say, everybody stay strong and overcome. Carnivore Soldier out.